It is another interesting edition of the Market Review where we discuss key developments in the financial and capital market as it affects the economy. Today, we'll be discussing open banking and the opportunities for deepening financial inclusion in Nigeria. On the sidelines of the 6th Nigeria Risk Summit and Awards event in Lagos, I engaged Mr. Ademola Adesalu, the MD CRC Data and Analytics Limited, on this interesting topic. We'll get to that. But before we start, let's give you a wrap of some key stories from the market from last week. The Nigeria Exchange Limited announced the listing of the FGN 1.25 billion euro bonds. The tenure is till March 2029. Afex Exchange announced the commencement of the industry platform as a community building initiative that harnesses the potentials of 3 key sectors that seldom interact: technology, finance, and agriculture, to unleash great value that can reach all the way down to the bottom of the pyramid. The Code Cash Crop will accelerate the growth and mentorship of the next generation of young professionals and innovators to help facilitate solutions on how technology can impact trade infrastructure. Those were the key stories from last week. Now, recently, the apex regulator of Nigeria's banking and financial system, the Central Bank of Nigeria, issued a circular operational guidelines for open banking in Nigeria. This was in its effort to improve the sharing of data across banking, financial institutions, and payment systems, designed to stimulate and expand innovations and financial products available to bank customers. In concept, open banking is a banking practice in which third-party financial service providers are given open access to customer banking, transaction, and other financial data from banks and non-bank financial institutions through application programming interfaces. You call them APIs. Open banking is a blanket financial services term used to describe the use of open technologies by third-party providers to build services and applications around financial institutions. It provides guidance on the TPPs and how they can access and utilize customer bank data in the standard format to provide more open, transparent, and competitive banking services. And this led me to an interaction with Mr. Ademola Adesalu on the sidelines of the 6th Nigerian Risk Summit and Awards event. I first asked him what the open banking framework would bring to the Nigerian financial market, especially in the area of opportunities and also the possible threats.
You see, lending has always been in Nigeria. What has happened is that it's been more skewed towards the corporate sector. Okay? And of course, one of the offshoots of the credit bureau is that the lenders now know that they can keep the credit history of individuals in the bureau by law. You understand? And defaulters really don't have any place to go to anymore to hide themselves once they take money, because the risk, I'm the one giving you money, I'm the one holding the risk. You understand? So I need to have something to de-risk by me and make sure that you don't go scot free. So this is what, so it's what now encourage more lenders to come out and say, look, I have funds, I'll give out at a reasonable interest rate in anticipation that you will pay me back based on the terms that have been set. You understand? Now, because there's also the concept of the Me Too amongst the entrepreneurs who feel, oh, I think this is a good business. So those Me Too's are probably the ones that are creating the challenges we're seeing today with respect to customer data privacy. You understand? Because if you go back and look at them very well, you may find that they don't even have the right set of corporate governance or risk management framework that established organizations do have to manage risk relating to this. So I think it's an evolving process, and it will normalize itself now with the regulators being involved, the legal entities understand that they have a role to play here. And what we'll eventually see is in a couple of, I probably think in a couple of years, just like we've seen some stabilization in the telecoms industry, is an environment that makes it comfortable for for lenders to give advanced funds to retailers, because those the retail lending, those are really the ones that need a lot more of this fund to address the growing challenge of poverty in Nigeria. You find that most advanced countries, it's not that they have so much money or so much wealth. You take the United States or the United Europe, for instance. The average home is indebted. That's how they're able to maintain their lifestyle. But they have frameworks, they have systems that protects those who take the risk of giving you the funds. Now, so to answer your question, yeah, we're evolving. It will separate the serious players from the Me Too, and it will provide some sanity into how they manage the risk associated with lending, and those with good intentions will be able to take advantage of the benefits of having a society that credit is available.
In terms of operability and impact, I was curious to know from Mr. Adesalu countries that have adopted this model and how it has helped them to scale financial services and economic empowerment.
Okay, yeah, I mean, maybe we don't have established experience in Africa, but there are a couple of places you want to check. The United Kingdom, started with the open banking a while back, and a number of products, have been created that are not that are based on non-credit data that you will find there. India is a very good example. They have, through their regulatory agencies, also built a framework that supports open banking. They also have been able to identify operators at different spheres within the open banking space. Those that are implementers, practitioners. They've been defined very, very well. And of course, products have now that you can, if you go to India now, especially in the areas of retail lending, in the area of personal finance management, you will see quite a number of products both in the UK and India that are already existing based on this framework.
Nigeria has an aggressive financial inclusion agenda that should connect the rural areas. How does the open banking model key into this strategy? Here's what the CEO of CRC Data had to say.
Well, like you were talking about both the opportunities and the risk. So I'll talk about I'll add that to the opportunity, then mention the risk. Financial inclusion is a major challenge, especially for the rural people. It's a major problem. So my belief is that the open banking will support financial inclusion, because now when you combine that with the PSB, the PSB services, which allows which is targeted at the rural people. Once I have banking transactions or financial transactions in any way, what open banking will do is to liberalize data in that particular area, which with organizations like us will build systems and allow that to be captured, and with analytics added to it, you can actually profile somebody who either though has not is unknown, and be able to say to a fair extent this person is good for this particular financial product, be it borrowing, lending on credit on one hand, or even personal financial management is on the other hand. And of course, in addressing the risk that is also that associated with having access to such data, the open banking framework provides guidelines to how you are able to access people's data, based on their consent and based on some termed time and duration, and also the consent of the knowledge of the holders of that data, because there are a number of parties involved in making this possible, and all of them must be aware when that information is being taken, and necessary controls have been put in place to ensure that nobody is surprised and the data is also not used for the wrong purpose.
And of course, what's the outlook for the growth of open banking in the country, and what should we be looking out for in the years to come?
So I'll start with the opportunity. I will say that for the open banking is going to complement our work, and that's why I have the assignment now running CRC Data and Analytics Limited, because we've over the years focused more on credit data. Now with open banking and the associated frameworks and guidelines, we'll be able to move into other types of data apart from credit, to be able to advance lending, and also create new financial services products, which will ensure eventually, of course, improve the well-being of the citizenry, because the idea is about wealth creation, is about value creation to the community at the end of the day. So these are now also going to be also going to be more like another financial infrastructure or instrument or framework that would make that possible.
With the open banking model, banks are moving to agile technologies, building strong partner networks, and creating robust mobile platforms which will cater to customer needs. thus enabling direct financial transactions between customers and businesses and making cross-platform payments a reality. It's a good initiative, but for Nigeria, effective regulation and proper data protection and management is key to make this financial model work for the populace. That'll be all for this edition of the Market Review. If you have questions or suggestions on open banking and the opportunities for deepening financial inclusion in Nigeria, please send them as an email to Ottoabasi.Abasiekong@proshed.co. Also join our website, www.proshed.co, to read the latest financial stories, market stories, and articles and reports, all captured for you on the website. You can engage us via social media platforms displayed on the screen. Don't forget that you need to be informed to make the right investment decisions. Thank you for watching, and keep discussing the financial and capital markets because they create wealth and economic opportunities.